Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. It's David Hodge.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. My name is Sister Fatima Hodge, representing Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant.
Welcome. Today's topic is Satan's destruction. All right, brothers and sisters. So who is Satan? Well, it's obvious because we have it right above us. Which you are not familiar with this description or this interpretation of Satan, because our people have been given the description or interpretation of Satan by their enemy, which is the devil, which is Massa, the one who took you from your land, brought you here, and programmed you, and have you believing in what they want you to believe in, so they can have you heading straight for your destruction. So your definition of Satan is all backwards. It's all twisted up, right where they want you. They have you believing that Satan is this big red guy with horns, with a pitchfork in hell waiting to burn you up for eternity. Or some spooky spiritual devil Satan man that's playing tricks on you and causing hell in your life. Well, that's incorrect, brothers and sisters. Satan is a group of individual people, which is false Israel, which it clearly explains in chapters 2 and 3 of Revelation, verse 9, both chapters. And it tells you exactly who Satan is. So, brothers and sisters, it's not a mystery. It's a deal of receiving bad information. That's the dilemma. And that's what the enemy's job is, to continuously misguide you, mislead you, confuse you, have you thinking, against yourself, have you beating yourself up with bad information, which will be your destruction. Because their goal is for you not to be able to recognize them, which is their enemies. If you can never put a face to the enemy, then you are your own enemy.
Exactly. So, understanding that, you have to have an understanding of who and what these things are. So, you're not confused in knowing who your enemies are and who's not. Now, they have, like Brother David shared, taught us that our enemies are spooks and spirits. This is what they've taught us. And our enemies are actually physical people that surround you and that controls everything that you do every day. So understanding that, you never, without the proper understanding, you would never know who your enemies are, due to your enemy hiding that from you, which is why we're here exposing those enemies that you don't know about and putting a face to all of these so-called characters they say is a bunch of spooks and spirits, when we know that everything is physical. We don't believe in spooks and spirits. That's what they tell you so you can be out of touch with reality. And that's another tactic of the enemy, Satan. And Satan actually is false Israel. That's who they represent. Satan represents false Israel. Now, understanding that, sisters and brothers, if they're Satan, that means that they're not the people who they claim they are. And they claim to be something other than who they are, which is Satan.
Right.
And like he shared in the scriptures, chapter 2, 3, Revelation, verse 9, he shared that they are the synagogue of Satan. It's telling you exactly who they are. Those who claim to be, that's who they claim to be, sisters and brothers, they claim to be the holy people. This is what they're claiming. However, they're not. And we have to understand that they're lying.
Right.
That's just the bottom line. That they're liars, imposters, claiming to be God's chosen people. However, their actions expose that they're Satan.
Exactly.
And exactly. So, right, their actions expose that they're Satan. So, their little shield that they had over them is being revealed day by day. And it's again becoming clear, the picture is becoming clearer and clearer and clearer. Like one of those Kodak, is that the name of the camera?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Where you have to, it's dark at first, but
Right.
it's still what lies behind the camera is still there until you are able to see the photo clearly. And that's exactly what's taking place here with false Israel. They've been claiming to be God's people since 1948. So that picture is, it was dark back. Like I shared, like that Kodak camera picture. It was dark at first until it became clear. So we didn't know. Our people believe that false Israel was God's people. This is what they teach these Christians. This is what the Christians believe in. That these is God's people. This is what they teach you. And that's their devils and demons, of course. Now we know that they placed them in this position. The devils placed them in this position, because they wanted to basically squash the idea of the black man and woman, of America being God's people.
Right.
And this is because someone came along and told the black man and woman of America that they are God's people.
Mm-hmm.
So that, so that caused, a problem within, their system and how they were.
Right. Clash with their reality.
Yeah, it's clashing with their reality.
Messing with their mental.
Right. So that was a problem. Telling black people that basically that was a wake up call for us, and they didn't want us to wake up.
Right.
Their plan is to keep us dead, to keep us asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So when that was identified and clearly exposed that we are God's people, they had to wipe that idea out of the minds of our people.
Right.
So they placed, of course, their people in false Israel. And that's where they named false Israel. Just as brothers.
Right.
Another reason why they named false. They placed them over there in that land, in Palestine, as you all see today. They're over there in Palestine. Now, understanding that, the people of Palestine, they had to take their land from them.
Right.
In order to even be in that location. So, understanding that, they killed and kicked out a bunch of people from their land, which exposes exactly who they are.
Right.
Right there. Just that example how they got Israel. How they got Palestine.
Right. They know better than America.
Exactly. Just like America, they came and killed. Took this America from the enemy and killed them all. And raped their women. And they stole this land. And that's exactly what they did over in Palestine. And kicked all them people off their land. Killed them, murdered them, did whatever they wanted to do. Just to get them off of their land. That's exactly what they did. And that's how they achieved their land over there. And they were able to, identify as God's people being in the Holy Land.
Right.
This is how they chose to achieve that. And they were also placed in charge of controlling everything that the black man and woman is going to be viewing on their television, on their radio stations,
right,
on the movies that you're watching, on the cartoons that you're watching, and
right,
on your social medias. They are now in charge of everything that you view.
right.
Real God's people. Why is that? Why are they all of a sudden in charge of that? It's because they're claiming to be you.
Right.
So, in order to keep that claim, they have to destroy you.
Right.
Because if you ever realize
right,
that, which is like I said, they got to keep us dead. And they're in charge of doing that with the media and things like that. Through media.
Right.
So, understand that they are in charge of all of that. Those devils that claim to be God's people. Now, if you're God's people, why are you playing sexual music? All these things that you're exposing to children. Just period. All of the, the gay thing, all the, what am I trying to say? The, basically the corrupted that's
right,
online and social media.
They're responsible.
They're responsible for that. So
right,
if you're God's people,
right,
why are these things being able to be viewed?
Right.
Period. Being able to be spoken about. Period.
Right.
And that's because they are showing you their actions, which is why we need to understand who the enemy is, so you are able to see the actions of them,
right,
and judge them through that.
Exactly.
Because right now you're judging them through what they're telling you.
Right. Whatever they set the standard.
Whatever they say.
This is what they say. So you run with it.
Right.
Right.
And without knowing these other pieces to the puzzle,
right,
that they're your enemies, that they're in control, you won't understand what's going on. You won't understand that they are your enemies. Because once you understand those things, you understand that what they're trying to do to you.
Right.
Which is what they're trying to prevent from you understanding and knowing who they are. Because when you resist them, that means that you're coming out of their ways, right? Well, not. But basically, if they don't have control over you, that's a problem.
Right.
For them. Because they want to be in control of you. They have to be. In order for you to stay in the line of how they want you to think, they want to be in control. So that's why they don't separate us and tell us anything, tell us any knowledge and things like that. Because if we get our minds back, then they are destroyed.
Right. Exactly. So the task is to keep you going in the direction that they want you to go in, which is backwards, which is going in self-destruct mode, destroying yourself. You see, self-inflicting yourself, harming yourself. You see, because if they don't like people like us, who not following the program, who's against the program, who's real woke, not the fake woke.
Who's going against the grain.
Right. Exactly,
No
because we can affect other brothers and sisters. We can have them, because now we can affect their direction. We can get them going in the right direction. We can get them going against the enemy. Get them to be able to identify the enemy. Put them on the path to success, which is complete separation in vengeance. Right. What'd you say?
Oh! I don't think I was saying the same word. I said that your vision.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. We give them the true vision, their true vision. We give them, you know, where they're really going. What's really going on around them. Give them the ability to have 20/20 vision. You see, to have to know who they really are, to know how special they really are, how blessed they really are, not sinful and wicked, not taking this stolen land and taking a plea deal. No, we tell them what's going on and where we headed, and the potential of what we could have versus what they're trying to give us, which is all illusion anyway. Because at the end of the day, they're just trying to kill us.
Right.
That's what it's all about. They're trying to get you to take a deal, so in the end, they just still murder you.
And they destroy you because your mind is destroyed.
Right.
Your mind is not even at the level that you have to be on to proceed in life and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their goal, to
Right.
keep you beneath them.
Exactly. Keep your level of thinking low.
Very low.
Right.
Beneath, and it has to be because they know higher pressure
Mm-hmm.
defeats lower pressure.
Right.
So to continue to be that, they have to stay at high pressure.
Right.
So we don't ever become,
Right.
over them, because they know once we become that higher pressure, then now they've been defeated.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to keep all of and they have to keep us below them, everybody, because they want to keep control.
Right.
So that's their agenda. That's why they're, feeding your mind with a bunch of crap. Nothing that's elevating you. You're not learning anything. You're just, basically going, like you said, you're going backwards in life. You're not moving forward, and you're not investing in yourself. And that's what happens when you're in a dream. Because you think, because it's not real, but you're working like it's real.
Oh, it feels good. It feels
You know,
real.
you're doing certain things, and it feels real, but it's not.
Right.
But you don't know that it's not, because you haven't woke up there.
Right.
So you don't realize that you're sleeping. And you see the people that are awake as crazy, or
Right.
I wouldn't say awake, because a lot of people claim they're awake. But you see the people that's telling you truth as being weird, or,
Right.
not in the same, well,
Right.
right, being weird or whatever, because you're still, they're woke with it. I'm not saying woke, but I don't like using that, because
Right.
everybody's woke
We can
today.
just, right, you just
But
say that.
basically, you don't realize that you're sleeping, walking,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sleeping, because you don't realize you're dead. Your mind, you're not. You're walking there. You're alive, but you're not.
Right.
But your brain is there. You're not here. In
Right.
reality, you're not in tune with reality, and that's their
Right.
goal, to keep us out of reality, because a dream is not reality.
Right.
It's fake. Like I said, you're sleeping, and so they
Mhm.
keep you in that sleep mode. They keep you in that sleep mode because they know that they're trying to keep you out of reality. Because as soon as you tune back into reality, then you start seeing things for what it is.
Right.
After they start exposing themselves, you start looking at things logically, right? You start understanding certain things because you're in reality, right? Questioning about certain things that really happen, And a lot of our people are asleep, so they're not questioning. When
Right.
there's a whole war going on, the whole world's talking about it. We have our black people not questioning, don't care about it,
Right.
don't know about it.
Right. Why is that?
Because they're sleeping, and they don't realize that they're sleeping.
Right.
And they're trying their best to keep you asleep.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing everything in their power to keep you asleep.
Right.
They have all these celebrities out here
Mm-hmm.
pushing their, mindset agenda when it comes to everything that you do. Because
Right.
you're basing your lives off of them.
Mm-hmm. They distraction.
And they're a bunch of
entertainers,
demons. And you don't realize that you're enemies as well. These are enemies that they created for you to be deceived by because they look like you. So imagine how bad they wanted you to stay dead, sisters and brothers.
Right.
They helped made a people, a hybrid nation. So they were able to manipulate you and destroy your mind. Because you see these people who are living great like Master that look like you. So you want to be like them.
Right.
And you don't realize that they're not even who you are, but they look like you. So you're trying to push the same agenda that they're pushing. And you're trying to listen to their advice. You're trying to act like them. You're trying to walk like them. You're trying to talk like them.
Right.
And you don't realize every little thing that they're doing against you because they're a totally different nature from you. Right. And you're reflecting that, trying to, at least. And in doing so, you're showing yourself. But that was their tactic. So you see the mindset of the enemy. They want to destroy you, and they still plan on doing that. Right. That's why they're, like I said, they're surrounding you. You're watching TV. That's the ones who are actors and things like that. They're pushing, excuse me, a bunch of illogical things on these movies that they're putting out today. Right. Why is that? Because they know they're controlling your, this is the mindset that they want you to start thinking like. Right. So whatever that is, they're going to put it into their movies, put it into their shows, and put it into their cartoons and things of that nature. So you're able to start directing your mind toward that because that's all you're watching, So this is why they keep people that's talking like this views away because this is not their vision. Right. If you're not
preaching their vision, blacklist you.
You're out of here. Right.
Deplatform.
Exactly.
Delete your
They
Facebook,
want you to think that
YouTube accounts.
You can be with a man and you're a man. And you think you can be with a woman when you're a woman because you can't find man love
or
whatever the case.
Give birth to children.
They want you to think men can give birth to exactly.
That's totally illogical.
They're teaching you that these movies now, mom and what? There's a bunch of corruptness in these movies. There's the man, the mother, the son is gay, and then the mother is sleeping with the gay son, boyfriend. It's just a bunch of crap that they're promoting on television. It's just destroying your mind, destroying your logic of thinking. Saying these certain things are okay, and they're not okay. But that's what they're telling you. So because they know that this is the tactic to destroy your mind.
Right. Encourage you to have a beast behavior, to act like beasts.
Encourage you to kill your babies.
Encouraging you to destroy your nation.
Encouraging you to destroy your bodies. And this is, you gotta understand that they're just performing their nature. And our people are victims because they're, listening to these devils and demons. So we're destroying our bodies, we're getting abortions, we're doing all these things. And we don't realize that's destroying our nation. That's taking us out of existence. And they want you to feel like, having children is a depressing thing and things of that nature. Like I said, they're trying to destroy your mind. You understand that you need a family. There's nothing wrong with that. And they're teaching you that these things are, the total opposite of these things. They're teaching you the woman saying that a real man is a man that allows her to do whatever she wants to do. Right. And he does whatever he wants to do. Right. But they're married or happy together. It's a bunch of corruptness going on television today. Everything that you're seeing, they're teaching you witches, things. You're a witch. You're you're trying to make your brain get into animal, right? Yeah, I forgot bestiality, right? Things of that nature. They're promoting all these things that are sick to the mind and destroying our minds, and we don't realize it's destroying our minds. So we've been operating off of this mindset since we've been alive, right? Since we've been born. So
Mhm.
we don't feel like nothing's wrong with it.
Right.
Or we have a feeling, the original one have feelings, but you don't ever, so it's hard to react to that feeling because you're surrounded by people who don't feel the same way you feel.
Right.
So you have to basically
Suppress.
adjust and
Right.
suppress who you
Mhm.
are,
Right.
just so you can survive in this reality.
Right.
Because if not,
Hook yourself back up to the program.
you're not gonna be able to move forward if you don't
Right.
repress what you're actually thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get back to the point. Well, that is the point. The Fosters was the one that's in control of all the media and things like that.
Right.
And all the media that they're in control of is now exposing them.
Mm-hmm.
They're being exposed on their own social media platforms.
Right.
False Israel is being exposed on all the social media platforms. So if you understand that we're in a time of judgment, then you will be able to see that false Israel is well, everyone's under judgment as we speak.
Right.
And like I shared, they've been hiding that they're Satan. They've been doing their best to cover up and act like they're a bunch of angels because, they're in control of all the media, like I said, but they can't even keep control of that anymore.
Right. Backfiring.
They're in a time of judgment, so they're being judged.
Right. It's going against them now.
So everything's going against them. They're being
Right.
exposed in full flesh on their own social media platforms.
Right.
And understanding that they got to keep their social media platforms up because who's on it? Some man giving them the knowledge that they need. They can't shut them down.
Right.
They can't stop you from seeing it. They need these. They need these platforms. So they can't stop from being exposed. And they are. And like I shared in the beginning, they stole that land. They took that land from Palestine and from the Palestinians. And now, since they have retaliated, they are now, being, as you see, they're being killed,
Right.
bombed, everything starved to death, everything you can think of. Well, not everything you think of, but
Right. They're doing a lot.
they're doing a lot to these people
Right.
that you clearly can see through social media.
Right. It's all on there. Just go on
Killing women, children,
there. Right.
just killing them for no reason. And they say that because they attacked us. But what about what you did to them
Right.
to cause them to do what they did?
Oppression.
Like I said, we're in a time of judgment. And the devil seems to think they get away with everything. But you don't get away with consequences.
Right.
And before the time of judgment, they were in a time of what's the time? What was that name?
The grace period.
The grace period, right?
Right.
Where their consequences, they still receive consequences, but they're
Well, not from.
that's another conversation.
Right.
We're gonna keep that. We want.
No, I'm just right. Well, they was getting away with what they was doing to us in other nations because they were given the ability. They had good luck. Let's put it that way. And the consequence that the full consequence that they're due was being built up, being dammed up,
Right.
because no one was retaliating.
Right. So now that we're in that time of judgment, that retaliation has come in full flesh. So
Right.
they're no longer being, secured,
Right.
or whatever the case may be, as you
Exactly.
would call it.
Everything's
Everything
failing.
is failing now.
Right.
They're confused. They're panicking.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, what was the point I was making about that? About how that's the reason why this is taking place now,
Right.
and it didn't take place before
Mm-hmm.
because they've been there.
Right.
As you all know, they've been there, right? Claiming to be God's people.
Right.
So why hasn't, this happened already prior to the time of judgment, 2019, 2020, when it started. So why is that? Because now that we're in the time of judgment, everything is being exposed and everyone is being judged. So that's exactly what you're viewing, and understanding even deeper that those are our brothers, and they had a hand in the black man and woman of America's misery, which I'm speaking about Gaza. Those people are being tortured and tormented right now all over social media. Do you see how that consequences is happening to everyone? It's everyone who afflicted the original nation will be judged. So that's exactly what you're viewing. You're viewing it double time. You're viewing it, it's happening to both of them, right? They're being exposed, false Israel, and being Satan, because of all the stuff that they're doing to Gaza and then before, prior. And then Gaza's being exposed, then they're being exposed. Excuse me, they're not being exposed, but they're being under destruction.
Right.
Because of what they did to us.
Right.
They're not, that's not happening to them for no reason either.
We know nothing just happened for no reason.
Right. And that's our older brother. Understanding that they're our older brother who gave us, who was upset, jealous, right? And allowed the devils to get us and take us here, bring us here. So they had a hand in that.
Right.
And they still have a hand in it. Today, working, and doing certain things to keep the black man and woman down, right? So that's why they're in that situation that they are over there.
Right.
On top of it, assisting, exposing false Israel being Satan. So, understanding that, we have no remorse for them.
Right.
They didn't shed a tear for us. And they didn't help us. However, we acknowledge this point because the scripture speaks about this. It speaks about this event that will happen, the abomination.
Right.
Abomination. Because this is not, understanding that, what's the, I want to make sure I had a proper explanation of, I'm not explaining that properly.
Which one?
With abominable cruelty.
Oh yeah, the word that's connected to abomination, which is abominable.
Right.
Which means to cause moral revulsion, which is the same as causing disgust and hatred. But it also means the uprising was suppressed with abominable cruelty, which is exactly what false Israel is doing to Gaza. They were on their way uprising, and false Israel suppressed their uprising with abominable cruelty and desolation, which is them committing genocide on them, destroying them, killing their families, blowing up innocent women and children, blowing up their infrastructures, starving them, keeping them from getting, basic necessities, literally saying that they're going to destroy them in doing it. During this time, it said they'll inherit what they say and they do. So this is, like she said, this is the highlight of
the scripture. Right now.
Right.
And this is what's relevant to what's happening right now. So I said this is news. This is not, this is, what do we call it? Future news.
Right.
Because this is things that you don't
nobody even talks about.
They don't know about the news and not telling you about. And they can't because they're never exposed themselves.
Right.
So
they can't call it what it is.
They can't call it what it is.
Because then it means that man, that son of man, that messenger of the covenant, that guy, he's right. And if they're right, then they're in trouble.
And the scriptures is telling you exactly what's going on right now. That's taking place over there. We hear why. We identify it. It says the abomination of desolation. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through Daniel, the prophet, standing in the holy place, let the reader understand. So, understanding that death, injury, that's considered the holy place. And that's exactly what's taking place.
Right.
It's a abomination taking place over there.
Right. But the holy place, which is Jerusalem, and the holy people, which is the Palestinians.
Exactly. They consider that's what I meant. That's what I was trying to explain. That the angel is supposed to be the holy people.
Right.
Right. And so it says, standing in a holy place is shared. Let's read to understand this because, like we shared, Suleiman, which is the son of man, which is Daniel, the prophet, has come and exposed who false Israel is, and has come and exposed to us. I feel like I was trying to make sense, but excuse me. He came and exposed these things to us, which is why we are able to understand, which is the readers. That we're the one that's reading this to you as we speak. So let the reader understand, because we will be the ones to enlighten our people with that truth and light that they need.
Right.
So you're able to so we're able to give you the understanding of what this is speaking about.
Right.
And your pastors and preachers are not doing that because they don't have any rights. They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Farrakhan doesn't know.
Right.
None of his ministers know. They don't know, which is why they don't talk about it. But they don't know. They can't. I mean, a lot of people talk about things they don't know, but that's another conversation. However, this is why they're not talking, because they don't know. And that's not only why they're not talking about it, because the pastors and preachers, they're here to control your mind, control what you're thinking, how you're thinking. If you start even thinking this direction, because they can't even speak, they haven't even bring up verses like this in church at all.
Right.
So you wouldn't even. That's not the place where you go to hear future news, any news, telling you anything.
Everything is past tense.
They're supposed to be the ones giving you light, but everything's past tense.
Right.
But they're
darkness.
The preachers, and the ones supposed to preach. That's one to give light, right?
Right.
To give you the guidance that you need.
What good is irrelevant
news? What's the point of
outdated information?
So he should be speaking about this event right here.
Right.
If he was truly,
it should be the highlight
with you. If he was truly trying to help you and save you, this is what should be spoken about.
Exactly.
Because understanding that abomination, just the meaning of abomination, desolation. You will understand that scripture is speaking about destruction of something that's not supposed to happen, as abominable, right? And even if that's why I said they can't talk about these things,
right?
Because it's that you start questioning these things. Okay, so once you get that understanding, because you're starting to think, that's why they can't talk about these certain scriptures. Because it makes you start to think. It makes you wonder, okay, so who are the holy people?
Right.
It says, damn, the holy, where is that at? Certain things you're going to question. And a lot of people don't question because they fear. But every scripture makes you question. But they try to push it to the side and put their own little meaning on it.
Right.
But there's a question because you don't know what these scriptures are saying. Right. There are parables. There's all type of things going on in the scriptures. So you're naturally going to question what's going on, right? I mean, that's just common sense. When you say that a woman come out of the side of a man, right? You're just gonna your common sense is like, okay, how'd that happen?
Right.
Just period. Off rip. How'd that happen? You just want to know, but don't question God. Right. You gotta ask God about that, baby.
You know how to reprogram.
Things like that. But you're naturally questioning because the scripture will be sealed.
Right.
No one would know what they mean until the Son of Man, Daniel, would come and expose exactly what the scriptures are saying. The true meaning of the scriptures, sisters and brothers. Which is why I shared everyone will be questioning. And if you're not questioning, you're in fear because you're scared to question. Or you're just a demon and you believe exactly what it says. Because that's your mind.
You're a Negro by program.
Yeah.
By the demons.
Exactly. So that's why, like I shared, it's you need the true meaning of the scriptures to understand what's actually going on here. And this scripture is identifying this event that's taking place right now as we speak.
Right. Right now.
The abomination of desolation.
Right. And this event speaks volumes.
Consequent.
It speaks to our people directly, telling you. It said, let the reader understand. Let them understand what? That they're in trouble. Mm-hmm. That all hell's about to break loose. That the destruction of false Israel is near. Because why? Because when 2020 came in, it said all things would fail. Like the sister shared, they was under judgment. It said everything would backfire. And during this time, they would be receiving consequence. Right. And now, this is one of the signs, one of the greatest signs in human history, right, that all hell's about to break loose. And it said what? They don't hear it, what they do, what they say and they do. It said they reap what they sow. So now, there's an imbalance that was caused. Because, why? Because the Palestinians, they were rising up. Which means what? They were rising up. They retaliated. That was just. Because like the sister shared, they were being oppressed for 70 plus years. They did what they did to us, but they paid their debt off. Because if they was able to rise up, then that means that their debt was paid with us. So they retaliated, which was just. And then what did false Israel do? They so-called retaliated, which caused the imbalance, which now has to be adjusted, has to be corrected. And how will that happen? They're doing it now. What they're doing, it will be done to them. So that's now what's about to take place. And if you understand what that means, then this is when the scriptures say when you see the abomination of desolation, it says flee. So this is what the pastor should be telling you. He should tell you to get the hell out of right. Get away from these devils.
Exactly.
He should be telling you to get away from the devils, right? But he's a damn demon. He's a son of the devil. So he can't take that.
You wonder though, why am I fleeing? What
Right.
do you mean, flee? Why?
Right, why?
If we got people, we gonna take it over, we got people, what you mean, flee? They destroyed, good. Now we about to go over there.
Right.
That's the mind of our people.
And that's nothing. Go
That's
away.
how they feel.
We ain't one of them.
But it's not as simple as you hearing it.
Right.
Because you might hear it. Okay, well if they ain't destroyed, then why don't we go back? Right? It don't work like that. You understand that our enemies, once that's, like I said, flee. Scripture's telling you to flee when this event takes place. Why is that? Because they plan on taking you, going into full-fledged, taking you out of existence.
Extermination.
Eradicate you. Yeah, they're doing things right now.
Right.
But
this
when
they about to
lie is crumbled,
right,
that's going to destroy the minds of the whole world, because that's their mindset is focused on false Israel right. being God's people.
That's structure, right? The world
that's
structure,
the world structure. So people go and bless them,
right?
Because it tells you in the scriptures when you bless God's people, right. You'll be blessed.
Bless those who bless.
So they go and bless them, and when they find out that they've been blessing the wrong people,
right? And they say what?
And it said those who curse will be cursed.
Who curse Israel.
So who is the real Israel?
Right, so when they find
the
out,
black man and woman.
So
oh my God! Do you hear that?
Right.
We've been cursing God's people.
So now what? That means
and now we're in a time of judgment. Oh no, we're it's like you're in the court. You're about to go to court.
You're guilty of all charges.
And you're trying to
you
got a month before you get to court
to get rid of all the evidence.
Before the court hearing, you got a little month before. So you're trying to get rid of the evidence during that time period before you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want no evidence of what you did.
Right.
So you can, win,
right.
or whatever the
Right.
case may be. Basically, that's what they're trying to do.
Get rid of evidence,
Get
no
rid of
case.
evidence, no case.
We're not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell you talking about? Type thing.
And they just think that they're escaping, getting consequences, and they're not. Sisters and brothers. So their plan is to get rid of us.
Right.
That's their plan, but they won't.
Right.
We're the best planners. Like I said, like you said, the scripture tells you to flee. It's warning you. Like I said, we're the best of planners.
Right.
Because that's our job, to make sure our people know to flee. Because they're planning on killing you.
Right.
And they're not telling you that, but we're telling you that. And that's what the scripture is telling you, and that's why it says flee.
Right.
We're telling you the true meaning of why it says flee. That it said, it's telling you the seriousness of that situation. That's basically trying to express the seriousness of what's about to take place, because it's telling you to flee and leave nothing and go back and get anything. Nobody can get nothing, not even your own baby. So imagine how serious that event is going to be. These people are going to be in their real state of mind, sisters and brothers. Their real mind. They're devils. You got to understand that they're wicked, weak and wicked devils. Weak and wicked. So they're going to be reacting immediately.
Right.
It's not delay in their mind and their reaction. There's no delay. And that's what's even scarier about these devils. You don't understand how their minds were theirs of authors of horror films and things of that nature that you're watching.
They had no fear of consequence.
So understand that they're the authors of all those horrific films and things like that, murders and things that you see and view. Then you would start to get an idea of what they're going to do to you.
Right.
And they don't look pretty. Those are movies, but that's what they can do, and that's what they did.
Right.
You understand that these people are not, that's their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine
right.
what they're going to do to you when it's okay to do that to you.
Right.
Ooh, sisters and brothers.
When it's told worldwide that you are
all blacks are being attacked.
The problem. They're going to exterminate you without a shadow of a doubt. They're going to just go straight for it. They're not going to try to bargain with you. They're not going to try to contemplate, what they call it, the CDC. When certain individuals say things, they take it serious.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to play with you. They're going to take you out of existence immediately. Especially when there's a famine as well.
That's what I said, that famine is coming along with that.
Right.
So I'm saying it's a list of things coming along with that. If they're not ready for it, and they're definitely, sisters and brothers, they're not going to starve.
Right. They don't miss meals.
Understand that they're beasts. And the beasts are animals.
Right.
They're animals, sisters and brothers. You're surrounded by a bunch of animals. You're having babies by animals. You don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
By grafted people. So they're not one with the plant. So they do things that are totally different than you.
Right.
So they're cannibals, sisters and brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They eat people.
Right.
And they plan on eating you.
That's all they're going to have to eat.
This is why they considered you as 3/5 of a human, and that still has not changed.
Right. Why is that? For this
all
time
this,
exactly.
all this, we're together, all these, but why are we still 3/5 of a human in their own constitution?
Mm-hmm.
Because they already have you planned for their meal.
Right. In case apocalypse kick off.
Exactly.
They was ready for this.
They're ready for it. The scriptures, like I said, they can't read certain scriptures to you. They know that a black woman ain't gonna read a book, read the Bible literally. So they know they can tell you lies and things like that, but they're reading the scriptures and they're seeing what's going to happen. Like I said, you get an idea of certain things, but they got to keep you from these scriptures because you can get an idea of what's happening. It wasn't.
Right, some things are verbatim.
Yeah, I'm saying, like false Israel Satan in chapter 2, and it's telling you that.
Right.
Just like that. Certain things can expose itself, so they can't allow you to. This is why they have in their mind that you're going to be food for their tables when this famine takes place, when everything fails, because they know that we're living in the time of we're living in that last book.
Right.
Revelations that tells.
They knew that when 2020 came in.
Exactly.
And the plague didn't pass over them.
Exactly.
They knew they was in trouble. They taught Exodus from the womb. They knew exactly what time it was.
But you didn't, Susan. Imagine, you gotta understand how serious that time was for them because they shut down the whole economy, the whole thing.
Right.
Have they? You couldn't go to a store. You couldn't barely leave your house.
Right.
Imagine that, sisters and brothers.
You must be out your mind.
Imagine how serious that was. That time was, and it's still gonna get worse. But imagine how serious that time was for them.
Right.
To have to shut down
they panicked
everything because they were dying.
Right. They were dropping like
They
flies.
were dying. And you were not dying. So what were they doing? Making you get shots. Trying to make you get the COVID-19. Because they're trying to kill you.
They said they reach out from their grave.
They know they're dying. Come on, imagine the enemy knowing they're dying. They take you with them. I'm going to kill you too. I'm about to die by myself.
Right.
We're all gonna die then.
Boy.
That's the mindset. I'm gonna die. We all gonna die.
That's what the devil
And that's
did.
exactly what they got a lot of our people with. A lot of our people are
right. They
dead
take
today.
that shot. Yeah.
Because they took that shot and it tore them up inside. And a lot of people are suffering from today, having strokes, passing out, just going. Babies are not even being born properly because of that shot. All type of things happening from the effects of that shot that took place 4 years ago.
They still get it. That's the thing.
Listen, brother, run for your life. You hear me? That's what the scriptures tell you.
Right.
To flee.
Right.
Get away from these devils.
Right.
Your enemies, sisters and brothers, the devil, the demons as well.
Right.
Because they plan on killing all blacks.
Right.
All blacks, regardless if you're living next to Massa.
Right. No
Massa is my friend. Massa is my daddy. It said flee all blacks.
Right. No matter what nationality you are.
No
matter if you're original. No matter if you're demon
Run
devil.
for your life.
Devil. You be doing all the chasing after the fleers. So anyway.
Brothers, you gotta understand that there's unprecedented times coming. And you have scriptures, the unsaid scriptures that are revealing what to do during these times, what's going to take place during these times. And that's why we're here giving you that future news. Because this is what's to come, this is what's happening as we speak. And what's to come is you running for your lives, sisters and brothers. Because these devils are not going to have any mercy for us. Because they love their lives.
Love.
So they're going to try their hardest
to
keep it.
Keep it, right. And they love it more than we do.
So sisters and brothers, this is a warning to our nation. To flee. Alright? With that, we'll be back here. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.